The story, Racist Cop Arrests Black UK Army General. It was a quiet afternoon in a wealthy suburb of London. Lieutenant General Michael Richardson, a highly decorated black officer in the British Army, had just returned home after a long day at the Ministry of Defence. Dressed impeccably in his military uniform, complete with medals and insignia, he stepped out of his Mercedes. But as he approached his front door, a police patrol car pulled up behind him. Officer James Barrett, a white policeman with a reputation for being overly suspicious, exited his vehicle with narrowed eyes. To him, the sight of a black man in such an affluent neighborhood raised immediate suspicion. "Hands where I can see them. What are you doing here?" Barrett barked, his hand resting on his holstered firearm. Richardson remained calm but firm. "I'm Lieutenant General Michael Richardson. This is my home," he replied in a deep, authoritative voice. Barrett wasn't convinced. "Don't try to play games with me. Show me your ID." Richardson produced his military identification card and calmly handed it over. But Barrett dismissed it without even glancing at it properly. "Fake ID? Nice try," he sneered before grabbing Richardson's arm and slapping handcuffs on him. As the cold steel of the handcuffs tightened around his wrists, Richardson felt a wave of humiliation and anger surge through him. He had commanded thousands of soldiers in combat zones, advised world leaders, and represented his country with pride. Yet here he was, treated like a criminal on his own doorstep, because of the color of his skin. Barrett, on the other hand, was blinded by his own prejudices. In his mind, no black man could possibly belong in such an upscale neighborhood unless he was up to no good. His actions were driven not by evidence but by deeply ingrained stereotypes. The situation escalated when Richardson's wife, Patricia, a prominent lawyer, stepped outside their home with her phone recording the entire incident. "You're arresting my husband without cause," she said sharply. "I've already contacted the chief constable." Within minutes, more police arrived at the scene, including Chief Constable Martinez and members of the Internal Affairs Unit. The tension was palpable as neighbors gathered to watch the unfolding drama. Martinez immediately recognized Richardson and was horrified to see him in handcuffs. "Release him at once," she ordered Barrett. Barrett hesitated but eventually complied, fumbling with the keys as sweat dripped down his face. The damage, however, had already been done. Neighbors had recorded everything on their phones, and within hours, videos of the incident went viral on social media. The next day, headlines across the country read, "Racist Cop Arrests Black Army General Outside His Own Home." The incident sparked outrage nationwide and reignited debates about systemic racism within law enforcement. At a press conference held by the Ministry of Defence, Richardson addressed the public with poise. "Yesterday, I was treated like a suspect simply because of my skin color, an experience far too common for many people in this country. But today we have an opportunity to turn this outrage into meaningful change." Patricia also spoke to reporters. "This isn't just about my husband, it's about every person who has been unfairly targeted or humiliated because of racial bias. We will fight for justice, not just for us but for everyone." Meanwhile, Barrett faced suspension pending an internal investigation. For the first time in years, he began to question his own biases as public scrutiny mounted against him. The community rallied behind Richardson's family, with neighbors, both black and white, demanding reforms within the police force. The resolution. The incident became a catalyst for widespread change within British law enforcement. Richardson worked closely with government officials to implement new anti-racism training programs for police officers while advocating for greater accountability measures. In the end, Richardson stood before a crowd at a national reform summit and declared, "We cannot change the past, but we can shape the future, a future where justice is blind to color and fairness is extended to all." The story concludes with hope, a moment born out of injustice transformed into an opportunity for progress and unity.